Have you ever felt like something or someone was watching over you? Not in a creepy way, but in those quiet moments when the storm should have crushed you, but didn't. When you should have broken down, but instead something held you up. When a dream whispered something to you, something that later saved you. What if that something wasn't your imagination at all? What if it was the people who came before you, your ancestors, reaching across time to guide, protect, and remind you? You are not alone, and you never were. Most people never notice these signs. We're so busy scrolling, surviving, chasing, and analyzing that we forget some truths can't be measured, only felt. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 6 real signs, not 5, 6 signs that your ancestors are actively protecting you. And by the end, you'll never look at your life or your past the same way again. Let's begin. The first sign is one you've probably experienced and then dismissed. Dreams, but not just any dreams. I'm talking about the ones that linger long after you wake, where faces you've never seen feel more familiar than your own reflection, where time doesn't behave normally, and emotions hit harder than they ever could in waking life. You may meet someone in a dream who feels like family, or maybe you're in a place you've never visited but somehow know exactly where everything is. That's not a coincidence. That's ancestral memory surfacing through dream visitations. There's one story I'll never forget. A viewer wrote in saying she kept seeing a woman in a blue dress pointing to a tree. No words, no context, just that tree over and over. 2 weeks later, during a family emergency, she got lost in a completely unfamiliar neighborhood. And there it was, the exact tree, right beside a distant cousin's house, someone she hadn't spoken to in years, but who gave her the help she desperately needed. Dreams like that aren't random. They're messages, and they only show up when your defenses are down, when your conscious mind steps aside long enough for spirit to step in. If this happens to you, here's what you can do. Write it down, every detail you remember. And when you feel something deeper in that dream, say thank you. It might sound simple, even silly, but acknowledging the message strengthens the line. It tells your ancestors, I'm listening. And then there are those moments when everything should be falling apart. But you're not. You lose the call comes from the hospital. The relationship ends, and yet somehow you're okay. Not because the pain isn't real, but because something inside you refuses to break. That's the second sign, the calm in the chaos, a warmth around your shoulders, a tingling at the back of your neck, or maybe just a strange wave of peace that washes over you for no logical reason. You don't know where it came from. You just know you needed it, and there it was. One woman told me about a terrible car accident she survived. The vehicle was totaled. There was smoke, shattered glass, but inside the chaos, she felt nothing but stillness, as if someone was holding her still from the inside. She walked away with barely a bruise. Your ancestors don't always prevent the storm, but they'll help you walk through it. When that kind of unexplainable calm hits you, stop for just a second. Acknowledge it, out loud. Say something as simple as, I feel you, and I'm grateful. It opens the door even wider for future guidance. So again, there's another sign that's even more subtle, but just as powerful. You start seeing patterns. The same number keeps popping up. You keep hearing the same phrase from different people. You think of someone you miss, and then you run into a stranger who reminds you of them and gives you the exact advice you needed. These aren't just coincidences. They're called synchronicities, purposeful alignments from beyond. Your ancestors know you better than you know yourself. They know what you need when you need it. And through these subtle patterns, symbols, songs, objects, they send messages in ways that bypass logic but land deep in the heart. You might shrug it off at first, those repeating numbers, that song that seems to follow you, that old heirloom you stumble across the day you needed comfort. But look closer, these aren't random. They're little nudges, gentle reminders from your ancestors that you are still connected, still guided. So the next time something strange happens that seems perfectly timed, don't brush it off. Write it down. Say, okay, I see it. Because once you start tracking these moments, you'll see the pattern. And the pattern, That's where the protection lives. There's also something even deeper that pulls at you. Have you ever felt strangely drawn to a place you've never been? Or found comfort in a tradition or ritual that wasn't part of your upbringing? That's the fourth sign, the ancestral pull. You visit a temple in a foreign country and feel like you've been there before. You hear old music or smell certain foods, and suddenly you're emotional and you don't know why. You're called to learn about herbs, dance, art, language without knowing where the interest came from. This isn't just curiosity, it's memory. Not from your brain, but from your blood. You're being drawn to places your ancestors once called home, to wisdom they practiced, to healing they once turned to in times of suffering. Following these urges isn't cultural appropriation when it's your lineage calling you home. So if you feel the pull answer, go to the places, learn the stories, cook the food, move your body in ways your spirit remembers, even if your mind does not. Because in doing that, you're not just reconnecting with them. You're healing parts of yourself that didn't even know they were broken. Septum. And sometimes protection shows up inside of you. That moment you just know what to do, even though you've never been trained for it. That instant you pick up a guitar and your fingers move like they've done it before. That time you knew which herbs to use, and only later discovered your great-grandmother was a healer. That's the fifth sign, intuitive skills and knowledge you never learned. Science now confirms what spiritual traditions have always taught. Your body carries memories. Your DNA holds more than biology, it holds experience. Some call it cellular memory. Others call it generational wisdom. Either way, when a gift shows up in your life that defies logic, pay attention. It's a spark your ancestors left behind. And when you nurture it, you're keeping that flame alive. So if you've ever had a talent you can't explain, or a gut instinct that ended up saving you, don't second guess it. Say thank you, then practice. Because that's their protection, working through you. Now, there's one more sign, the sixth, the quietest, but in some ways the most powerful of them all. You feel guided without knowing why. You take a different road home and avoid a tragedy. You call someone just in time. You turn down an opportunity and later realize it saved your life. There's no voice, no dream, just direction. Like your steps are being gently adjusted behind the scenes. This kind of guidance doesn't come with flashing lights or big signs. It comes with trust. And the more you listen to it, the stronger it gets. You're not imagining things. You're remembering how to listen. So let's recap the 6 signs. 1. Dream visitations that feel more real than waking life. 2. Emotional calm in chaos that defies logic. 3. Synchronicities that speak directly to your life. 4. Ancestral pull to places and traditions you've never known. 5. Intuitive skills and knowledge that seem to appear from nowhere. 6. Quiet guidance that protects you without explanation. These aren't fairy tales, they're invitations. Your ancestors aren't gone. They've simply shifted forms and they're waiting for you to notice. So here's what you can do today. Set up a small space. A photo, a glass of water, a candle, a name whispered in the morning. It doesn't need to be fancy. Just intentional. Speak to them, not as if they're long gone, but as if they're here because they are. If this video opened your eyes or your heart, share it. Send it to someone who's been feeling disconnected. Drop a comment below about the sign you have experienced. I read every single one. And don't forget to subscribe, because this channel is a space to explore the deeper truths most people never talk about. You're not alone, and you never have been. Let's keep remembering that together.